today on 15 on 15.
Out with the old, in with the new. These are the biggest local projects ahead for 2016. Plus, this new app will make reserving a beach chair a breeze. And here are some great ways to check you are as healthy as can be in 2016. Welcome to another edition of 15 on 15 right here on channel 15 ATV with Daniela Piazzi. Let's get started with our latest local news topics. As we're moving into the first week of 2016, businesses all over the island are planning their strategies and projects for the year ahead. Now, this is no different for the Aruba government, who is planning to make 2016 a record-breaking year. Here's how. 2015 has been a big year in Aruba, with a growth in international attention, tourism spiked, and the variety of initiatives towards a greener, cleaner, sustainable island. Big projects in 2015 range from the completion of the airport solar panel park, the initiation of the Green Corridor, and the development seen in St. Nicholas. As we move into a new year, the government of Aruba shares their vision and plans for this year to come, beginning with the completion of the 4-lane highway beginning from the airport all the way to St. Nicholas, named the Green Corridor. This will include an expansion of the linear park to the St. Nicholas region for both bicyclists and pedestrians. Secondly, the Horacio Udber Local Hospital will be undergoing a complete renovation with an addition of new buildings and facilities. Besides this, the container port will be relocated to Barcadera, and the cruise ship dock will undergo a complete renovation. Also, by the end of this year, Aruba hopes to have reached a 50% capacity of renewable energy. This will be executed by installing solar panels on the roof of local schools and constructing 2 additional windmill farms. Besides this, in 2015, the Aruban government constructed its first multifunctional building in the Nord area. The plans are to add more around the island, specifically in the areas of Paradera, Savaneta, Santa Cruz, and San Nicolas. Another priority for the Aruban government is to continue to improve the quality of the island's education by renovating facilities, investing in science programs, and expanding after-school activities. Finally, 2016 will be a year where the focus will mainly lie on technology, tourism, and green energy. We'll be keeping you updated on the developments of all of these projects throughout the course of this year. Moving forward, for those who still have fireworks or still did not get the chance to set them off, you better hurry up, because as of Thursday, January 7th, the use of these explosives will be completely banned. Yes, you heard me right. January 6th is your last chance to set off these bursts of colors on the island. In Aruba, fireworks are seen as a holiday tradition that cannot be missed out on. Many Aruban families set them off to let go of their bad auras in the past and celebrate the new. For this season, beginning in mid-December, temporary shops are set up all around the island to sell these explosives. Sadly, fireworks are a seasonal treat that the local community enjoys only in the holiday season. Once the official due date goes by, law enforcement agents will begin to hand out fines for the use of any form of fireworks. In other news, the Aruba Airport Authority kicked off 2016 on a positive note, considering the large amount of passengers and airplane movement on the first weekend of the year. The historically busy day called Super Weekend completely blew all expectations. Of course, such an extremely busy weekend required good planning and coordination between all stakeholders, departments, and employees at the airport. These planning efforts prior to this period showed great results when looking at the fact that even though it was a very busy weekend where a total of 27,250 passengers and 363 total aircraft operations were handled, in this 2-day period, the operation maintained the highest levels of safety and security, along with efficient and effective passenger processing, resulting in a positive passenger experience for the thousands of people traveling through the airport. AAA CEO James Fazio commented on the Super Weekend by saying, "The key ingredient for the successful Super Weekend is great teamwork by all of the airport partners. Also, the latest technology additions help tremendously to handle the amount of passengers in the record time." Congratulations to the Aruba Airport Authority on the successful execution of this Super Weekend. We'll be back with more 15 on 15 after a quick word from one of our sponsors. When we come back, this online tool will assist you in reserving that key spot under the sun. Thank you for staying with us. When traveling to a tropical island much like Aruba, it will soon become obvious that if you don't wake up early, you are not going to get a good spot under the sun. Much as the saying goes, the early bird gets the worm, fits this scenario. Well, now the Hyatt Regency Aruba Resort has launched the iPalapa, an online program designed to automate each guest experience when selecting shade or sun at the beach or pool. Guests at the Hyatt Regency Aruba Resort and Casino can now reserve a beach or pool palapa in advance from their mobile devices. Guests access the tool by signing onto the system at HyattBeachServices.com. The system refreshes each day at 4 p.m. for users to reserve palapas and umbrellas for the following day. Users can view available options and where they are located via a virtual map of the beach and pool, and then book their shade options. The resort still offers a towel hut open at 7:30 a.m. each morning for guests who want prime beachfront locations. Guests also can reserve in advance through a hotel recreational department. The hotel manager states that as many hotels move into a digital direction, the goal is to mobilize the guest experience, enhance guest satisfaction, and reduce waiting time. Moving forward, breaking news over the weekend as Somali terror group Al-Shabaab released a new video featuring Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump calling a ban on Muslims to travel into the United States. In this clip, the Republican candidate is used as a recruiting tool. Our partners at NBC News have more on this story.
The video by the al-Qaeda affiliate based in Africa is a pitch to come and join the cause. Al-Shabaab, responsible for the deadly attack on a Nairobi shopping mall that killed dozens, portraying America as a racist and anti-Muslim society, among other things. And mixed into this recruitment video, this clip of Donald Trump from days after the attack in San Bernardino.
Remember this, so listen. Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what is going on.
Analysts say using Trump can be an effective tactic for the terrorists.
This is someone with a major political following. This is someone with major influence.
Trump's political opponents have warned his statements about Muslims would be used by the militants.
He is becoming ISIS's best recruiter.
Today, a White House national security advisor reacted, saying it's no surprise terrorists would try to use a comment suggesting the U.S. and Islam are at war, adding, quote, "We're going to do everything we can as the U.S. government to make clear that's not the case." It's the first time Trump has been featured so prominently. The video apparently targeting a U.S. audience, narrated in English.
To the Muslims in America, I have...
And also featuring perhaps al-Qaeda's best-known American leader, Anwar al-Awlaki, killed 4 years ago by a U.S. drone strike.
It's a recruitment call, and it centrally relies on words spoken by Donald Trump and Anwar al-Awlaki. Not great company for a U.S. presidential candidate to be in.
No comment today from Trump, who in the past has defended his call to put a stop to Muslim immigrants entering the U.S.
We're talking about security. We're not talking about religion. We're talking about security. Our country is out of control.
As the new year begins over the famed Rose Bowl parade, more evidence of how Trump's rhetoric generates more passion. And with that new video, the militants hoping the candidate also sends them more recruits.
We'll be back with more English news after a quick commercial break. After the break, here are some ways to pay closer attention to your health from the comfort of your own home. Thank you for staying with us. A very popular New Year's resolution worldwide is either getting into shape or simply being healthier. Besides eating well and exercising regularly, there are many diseases that just cannot be prevented that easily. Here are some great 60-second health tests that you can do right from the comfort of your home. Check it out.
Okay, so this one is called the cross-legged squat test.
All right.
It sounds like what and how do you perform it? First of all, you start off with 10 points. That's fantastic. What you need to do is cross your legs, squat all the way down. You're not going to do it. You're going to do it at home.
Right.
You're going to sit down on the floor and you're going to get back up. If you don't use your hands, you don't use your feet, you don't wobble at all, you keep your 10 points. Any part of your body that touches down, you lose a point.
What is it telling me?
Right, exactly. You think to yourself, how could doing a squat predict longevity? Well, according to researchers a couple years ago, it did so with alarming accuracy.
All right, now we're talking about bad breath. You look at the tongue. Not only is it no fun to be around, it can be a signal of a serious medical issue.
It can. So basically what you do with this test is you scrape the tongue with a spoon, you stick the spoon in a plastic bag, stick it under a bright light for about a minute, and then you smell it. The issue here is that, okay, bad odor, why would anybody want to do this? The vast majority of cases are going to be related to gum disease and tonsils and things like that. But a really ominous odor, for example, fruity odor could be a sign of diabetes. Ammonia could be a sign of kidney disease. You can try it at home, though. It's safe.
Moving right along.
Okay.
This one's called the clock test, and it's really for dementia.
This is actually really a validated test. Actually, somebody performed it on my dad a couple of years ago. So basically what you do is you have a patient, you ask them to draw a clock. They need to do all the numbers in the correct order, get all 12, and then they have to show with the hands what time is 3:40.
What does it mean if you have trouble doing this?
So this has to do with it. A lot of it assesses cognitive functions such as memory, problem solving, even something called executive function like planning. So basically the ability to do all those 4 things gets you 4 points. It's a good screening test for early dementia.
If you have a loved one who doesn't do well on this, what should you do? Go right to a doctor?
Get them screened for dementia.
Okay,
Correct.
This one has to do with the eyes, only 60 seconds. What do we do?
Okay, something called macular degeneration, which is typically age-related, one of the most common causes of visual loss over the age of 50. You want to look at a window frame, preferably like a French door or something with a lot of frames where you can see vertical and horizontal lines. You cover one eye for 30 seconds, the other eye for 30 seconds. Any distortions, bowing out, wavy, missing parts could be a sign of early visual loss. You want to get that evaluated.
All right, good idea. This one is called the wobble test, but this has to do with your thyroid.
This has to do with your thyroid. So in this test, you're basically holding your hand straight out, but you place a piece of paper on it, and you want to see whether or not you see any trembling or shaking. The paper on there actually helps to bring that out. Could be a sign of something called hyperthyroidism, where your thyroid is revved up. I want to say, though, that anxiety, asthma medications, too much caffeine can also cause this. There's also something called benign essential tremor. It's not specific or sensitive for this particular diagnosis, but a lot of endocrinologists use it to screen.
Okay, and finally, artery health, and it only takes 60 seconds as well.
Okay, so this is something to screen for something called peripheral arterial disease, which is vascular disease in the legs. You lie supine, you lie flat on a bed with your legs elevated 45 degrees on a cushion. You keep them there for about a minute, then you hang them over the edge of the bed. If your legs get very pale when elevated and take a long time to get their color back, it could be a sign of this thing called peripheral vascular disease. Risk factors, of course, diabetes, hypercholesterol. You want to get this evaluated by a doctor.
Thank you so much for watching. These were your local news updates and trending lifestyle topics. Be sure to like our 15 on 15 Facebook and Instagram page for all of your latest news updates. Also, be sure to tune back in tomorrow night at 7:15 p.m. for more 15 on 15 right here on channel 15 ATV. See ya then.